Good morning, everyone. So in previous class, we have discussed that partitions. So partition is a technique is used to split a table into smaller parts. So we are dividing the large table into smaller parts. So we have different types of partitions, range partition and list partition and hash partition. So in previous class already we have done that list partition. So list partition is used to store the listing the values, list of values. So list of sequence of values. So again, I'm showing you how to create the partitions. So partition is a technique is used to dividing the large table into smaller parts. So just I'm creating one table. So we have syntax for the list partition. You can see that down. So create table, table name and column names. Create table, table name and giving emp2. So just give the columns ID, integer data type, and name I'm taking, varchar data type. So just giving higher date, date data type. So next department, varchar data type. So just select the query and execute it. Table, I'm copying that table name. So to divide the table, I'm copying that. So here I have created the
SQL ఎవరు ఎవరు లేరు
so
ఎందుకంటే
here
నేను ఒక్కటే ఉన్నా. అది కూడా
so here I am dividing the table. First you have to decide that if you are storing the list of values, you have to use the list partition. So otherwise you have to this time dividing the table by ID, partition by. So here I am giving the list partition. I am giving the column name. So I am dividing this table employee 2 table by ID. Partition P0. So here you have to give the partition name. So which will store whatever we have inserted the values. So that will be stored into these partition names. Values in. So I'm taking 1, 2, 3, 4. IDs. So again, I'm taking second partition P1 values. So 1, 2, 3, 4 values will be stored into the P0, and I'm taking values 5, 6, 7, 8, something IDs. So these values will be stored into the partition P1. So just select the query and execute it. So here we have error. So partition by list and give so here just close the parenthesis. So MP2 already exists. It shown that so I'm taking MP3. I'm changing the table name. So multiple definition of the same constant list partition. So just wait. Just refresh the object browser. Check the table names. Drop table EMP2. I'm dropping. Next, I'm dropping drop table EMP1. So just now I'm changing the table name EMP3 to EMP2. Multiple definition of same constant list partition. I'm dropping all the tables. So if we have same table, so we got this. So if we have multiple definitions, multiple data types with same values, so in that time also we can get that error. So enable unknown table employee to EMP2. Okay. So just so here we have given same IDs, right? So just I'm giving 6 here. See that. So we got 0 errors. So this table employee 2 has partitioned by list partition. So list. So here I am inserting the values. Insert into table name. Just give the column names ID, name, hire date, department. Values. I'm giving ID1 something, giving name and date, hire date. So I'm inserting some values, some records. So again, I'm inserting 2 or more records into the database. Just I'm changing the values to something IT department, HR department. So just I'm changing the values. So IT department. Just these values I have inserted into the employee to database. Here we have error. Just we have to give the separated records. So here we have given wrong name insert. Just select the data and execute it. So 0 errors. So to retrieve the data for normal query, select asterisk from table name we are giving. So here to retrieve the data from partition. So partition data will provide the information schema. So here we can see that information schema. So information schema provides the data about the partitions. So just retrieve the data by using this query. You can see that so partition, select partition name. So I'm taking these names from the information schema, table rows. I'm taking table rows from information schema. Dot partitions. So page table name. So equals to our table name. So here EMP to our table name, just give that name. So select the query and execute it. Unknown table. Just select the query and execute it. So P0 has 4 values and P1 has 1 value. So we can retrieve the data from that partitions. Select star from the table name, employee to partition P1. So something I'm retrieving the data from P0. Just give P0. So see that P0 has stored 4 values, 1, 2, 3, 4. So and P1 has just 1 value. I thought that. So 1 value. So that is 5th record. So in this way, we are dividing large table into smaller parts by using the list partition. So we can also add different partitions. So we can alter in the table. So alter table name, add partition. So you can see that that syntax Here you can see that alter table, table name, add partition. So partition, I'm taking P2. So here we have added P0 and P1. So I'm taking third partition as P2. Partition P2. So I'm storing the values in 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm giving. So select the query and execute it. So we got 0 errors. Just retrieve the data. Select partition name, table rows from information schema dot partition. So to retrieve the data from the partitions, we need to use the information schema database. So information schema database provides the information about the partitions. So just select the query and execute it. See that. So P2 has added into that table employee 2. So we can also drop the partitions. Alter table, table name, drop partition, partition name. Alter table, table name, drop partition, partition name, P2 I'm dropping. So just select the query and execute it. See that error in the list partition to drop. So EMP2 we have to give the same table name. So 0 errors. Again retrieve the data. So P0 and P1. So that EMP table has P0 and P1 partitions. So this is the list partition. Next one, range partition. So you can see that. So range partition is used to divide the rows into partitions based on the column values ranges. So to storing the particular range of values, we have to use the range partition. Firstly, we have to select the partitions. So if it is range, so if you want to store the list of values, so you have to use the list partition. So if you want to store the range of values, you have to use the range partition. So here I am showing range partition, how to divide the table by using the range partition. Again, I'm creating the table. So you can also divide the table while creating the during the creation of the table. Just here I'm showing by creating separate tables. EMP3 I'm taking. So ID, integer, name, varchar data type. So next I'm taking higher date, date data type. So here I'm taking 3 columns. So next partition by, I'm using partition by range here. So when we are dividing the table, you have to use the partition by class. So here I'm using the partition by class by range partition. See that years. So I'm taking the column name higher date. So I'm dividing this table by using the column name higher date. So partition P0 values less than something. You have to give the year. Just I'm giving 1980. So less than 1980 values will be stored into these P0 values. So sorry, P0 partition. So partition P1 values less than 19 something 90. So less than 1990 values will be stored into P1 partition. So just I'm giving maximum value. So less than max value. So it will store the highest value, maximum value into this P2 partition. Just execute the query. Values less than 1990. So just to give the parentheses, open parentheses. So 0 errors. So here I'm inserting the values now. So to insert the values, we have to give the insert command. So that is the DML command. Insert into EMP. I'm inserting the values into employee 3 table. So giving columns, ID, name, and hire date, values. So next I'm giving ID 1 and name. Rahul, and I'm giving the hire date 2020 0503. So just so I will copy the just I'm changing the values 2, 3, 4, 5. So Rasi I'm giving so I'm inserting the values. So here you have to give the comma to separate the records. Just select the query and execute it. Retrieve the data from the information schema. Select partition name and table rows. So these columns I'm taking from the information schema. From information schema partitions. So where you have to give the table name, where table name. So our table name is EMP3. Just select the query and execute it. So see that P0. So we have no values less than 2020. Sorry, we have no values less than 1980 and 1990. So here we have values P2. So just retrieve the data from P2. Select star from EMP3. Partition. So give the partition name P2. So it will show the values, that 5 values will be stored in, stored in P2 partition. So we have no values less than 1980 and 1990. So if you are update, suppose I am updating the one value, update table name, set higher date, something, give, I'm giving 19 less than 1980. So just less than 1970 I'm giving 02. So it will be stored into the P0 partition where ID equals to something I'm giving 1. Zero errors, again retrieve the data from the table. So see that P0 has stored one value. So here I have updated to less than 1980. Just give that P0 value. Retrieve the data from the P0. So in this way we are using list partition and range partition. So in next class I will show you that hash partition and window functions, why we are using the window functions. So don't miss the classes. So attend daily, practice well, go through the syntaxes. Thank you so much.